Ready? Oh, that's so...
Bye, kids. Bye-bye.
Some videos are creepy, some are tragic. But then there are videos so disturbing, they haunt you long after you watch them. From shocking accidents to chilling mysteries, these 6 clips capture moments no one was ever meant to see. On August 9th, 2018, in Moulton Falls, Washington, a group of friends stood on the edge of the 60-foot bridge, laughing and daring each other to jump. Jordan Holgerson stood at the edge, looking down at the water. Her heart pounded. She didn't want to do it.
3, 2.
Well, she's saying no.
The bridge at Moulton Falls in Washington stands 60 feet above the river, surrounded by dense forest and jagged rocks along the shore. It is a scenic yet dangerous spot with a sign warning against diving, but thrill seekers often ignore it. The river below is deep but unpredictable, making high jumps extremely risky. But people do it anyway. The voice counted down. 3, 2, 1. She hesitated, shaking her head. No, she said, but no one listened. Without warning, a force pushed her forward. She had no time to react. Her body twisted in the air. The fall lasted only seconds, but it felt like forever. Then she hit the water hard. Pain exploded through her chest. Her ribs cracked. The air in her lungs vanished.
3, 2.
Well, she's saying no.
No,
Ready? Oh, that's so...
Her friends shouted. Some cursed, but no one rushed to help. At 2:45 p.m., the ambulance arrived. Jordan was barely breathing. She had 5 broken ribs, a bruised esophagus, and air trapped in her lungs. She was lucky to be alive. The friend who pushed her never ran to check if she was okay. She didn't go to the hospital. She didn't even say sorry until months later, in court. By then, it was too late. The damage had already been done.
This past August, an incident happened at Moulton Falls, and neither mine or Jordan's life has been the same since. I've come to the realization that kids just being kids goes a lot further than the statement itself. Throughout this terrible process, I've not only grown as a person, but I have learned to think and process outcomes before I act upon a brief moment in time. I'd like to sincerely apologize to Jordan Holgerson, her family and friends for the pain and humiliation I had caused by my mindless action that occurred last summer.
In court, Taylor Smith appeared emotional as she apologized for pushing Jordan Holgerson off the 60-foot bridge. She admitted her reckless actions and said she had thought about the incident repeatedly. The judge sentenced her to 2 days in jail, along with 38 days of work crew. Noticing the severity of Holgerson's injuries, Smith was led away in handcuffs after the sentencing. The video of Jordan Holgerson being pushed off the 60-foot bridge remains one of the most disturbing clips to this day. The shocking footage captures the moment of betrayal and the terrifying fall, leaving viewers disturbed by the recklessness and the severe injuries that followed.
3, 2.
Well, she's saying no.
No,
Ready? Oh, that's so...
With that being said, let's move on to our next disturbing video. On February 21st, 2020, in a quiet Virginia cemetery, a mother took her little girl to visit a loved one's grave. The child, Leona, stood still, staring at the space above the grave as if someone invisible was standing there.
What are you waving at, Leia?
She waved, her small hand moving through the empty air, and then she leaned forward as if to kiss someone. Her mother, Kiona Walker, filmed the moment, watching as her daughter pointed toward the sky and babbled softly like she was speaking to someone only she could see.
Bye, kids. Bye-bye. There. Bye-bye. Bye.
The graveyard was silent. There was no one else near the grave, yet Leona's eyes remained fixed on something. She leaned in again, her lips pressing against nothingness, as if she were returning a kiss from an unseen presence.
Oh, look at. Oh.
What are you waving at, Leah?
Bye, kids. Bye-bye. There. Bye-bye. Bye. Oh, look at. Oh.
The eerie footage sent chills through those who watched it. Some believed the little girl had just interacted with a loved one's spirit, while others felt uneasy, wondering if something else had been there with her.
What are you waving at, Leah?
Bye, kids. Bye-bye. There. Bye-bye. Bye.
Even her mother struggled to believe what she had witnessed. The child had kissed something. But what? Let's move on to our next disturbing footage from the internet. On the night of September 27, 2024, in the city center of Tbilisi, Georgia, a 24-year-old Russian tourist named Irina Glazunova walked through the streets with a friend. The night was quiet, and the city lights flickered around them. She was singing, For the Last Time, by Alla Pugacheva, her voice soft against the night air. She held up her phone, filming as she walked, capturing the final moments of her life. Without realizing it, she stepped too close to the edge of an open underpass. The darkness below blended with the pavement, making it nearly invisible in the dim light. Laughing, lost in the moment, she took one step back and was gone. She fell backward into the void. The phone slipped from her hands, spinning through the air. Her body crashed against the concrete below, the impact breaking bones and leaving her unconscious. She never woke up. By morning, the spot where she fell became a silent memorial. Flowers appeared, placed by strangers who had never met her but felt the weight of what had happened. Online, the video of her final walk spread, and people spoke of the danger of the unfenced crossing. Some said this was an accident waiting to happen. Others wondered if she had been called into the darkness, as if something had been waiting for her. With this disturbing video coming to an end, let's move on to our fourth horrifying video found on the internet. On the night of August 4th, 2021, the streets of Brooklyn were alive with the usual hustling of the city. People talked, cars passed, and the night felt ordinary. But just after 9:30 p.m. on Franklin Avenue, everything changed in an instant. Delia Johnson stood outside, unaware of the danger behind her. A woman with a heavy build and long blonde hair stepped out of a white car. She walked calmly. Without hesitation, she raised a gun and fired. The shot was quick, merciless. Delia fell to the ground, blood pooling beneath her as the city lights reflected in her lifeless eyes. The shooter didn't run. She turned, walked back to the car, and disappeared into the night. The surveillance camera captured everything: the coldness of the act, the way the city kept moving as if nothing had happened. By the time officers arrived, Delia was unresponsive and rushed to Interfaith Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. The woman who pulled the trigger was gone. No one knew her name. No one knew why. But the video of that moment would haunt the city, a reminder that death could come without a sound, without a warning. But it didn't stay a mystery for so long. Claudia Banton was arrested on November 8, 2021, in Jacksonville, Florida, by U.S. Marshals. She had been on the run since August 4, 2021, after allegedly shooting Delia Johnson execution-style in Brooklyn. Authorities tracked her down and extradited her to New York, where she was formally charged with second-degree murder. She was held without bail and now faces up to 25 years to life in prison.
The execution-style killing of a mother on a Brooklyn street is back in New York to face murder charges. Detectives escorted 42-year-old Claudia Williams from the 77th Precinct in Crown Heights this morning.
Moving on to our fifth case for this video. On November 23, 2022, in the Gulf of Mexico, he woke up in the water, his body floating in the darkness. The last thing he remembered was being on the cruise ship. He reached out in desperation, gripping the ship's side, trying to steady himself while staying out of sight. His mind raced as he avoided the eyes of everyone around, unsure of how he ended up there.
Stop yelling! Let them work!
Everyone was shouting, trying to calm him down, but he wanted everyone to stay away from him. So they did what he wanted, didn't know what consequences it would bring to all of them. Then his worst nightmare happened.
You don't touch me! Because of you this happened, because I stepped out the door. Let go until he's on board. Until he's on board, I'm not going anywhere. Let go of me! Let go, get off me! Get off me! I'm not going anywhere until he's on board.
Watch. He's there!
Hours passed. He tried to stay calm, but the ocean was not silent. Jellyfish wrapped around his arms, their stings burning into his skin. Something large moved beneath him, brushing against his leg. He kicked, heart pounding, but he could not see what it was. The night felt endless.
He's there! Stop! Get the life back! Get the life thing! Throw it over! Throw it over!
By the next day, his strength was fading. He had tried eating pieces of bamboo that floated by, but it was not enough. His body felt heavy, and his muscles were weak. Then, a shadow appeared in the distance, a ship. He waved and screamed, using the last of his energy.
Don't make me out of there.
Grimes said he had a few drinks and
He was hoisted to safety with apparently just moments before his last ounce.
A call was made. A Coast Guard helicopter was close. The rescue team found him just in time. If they had been minutes later, he might not have made it. When they pulled him from the water, he was shaking, barely conscious. He had spent nearly 20 hours alone in the ocean.
story after going overboard a Carnival cruise ship in the middle of the night last week, saying he spent about 20 hours treading water alone in the Gulf of Mexico.
He had survived. But the things that haunted in the water, the cold emptiness of the sea, Those memories would never leave him. But he survived, and his story of survival was all over the internet, making him the hero, but no one would ever want to go through the same. With that being said, let's move on to our last disturbing video from the internet. On January 14, 2018, at the historic Urfa Castle in southern Turkey, a man stood at the edge, smiling as he prepared for a birthday photo. He wanted the perfect shot, one where he jumped in the air with the vast landscape behind him. The camera was ready. The moment was set. He leaped, his feet leaving the ground for just a second.
Say. 1, 2, 3. Yalla!
But when he landed, something went wrong. His foot slipped. The solid ground beneath him was gone. He stumbled, trying to grab onto something, anything. But there was nothing. The wind rushed past his face as he fell, the world spinning around him.
No, no, no! No, no! شراب وفيدا أطول. كيف شراب؟
He plunged 150 feet down the cliffside. The laughter and excitement from moments before turned into screams of horror. The camera captured it all. His last joyful moment before the fall. The celebration had turned into a tragedy, a birthday that no one would ever forget. Some videos make us wonder. Some leave us with chills. These 6 videos are proof that real life can be more terrifying than any horror movie. For more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this video. Comment below which case you find the most horrifying. Don't forget to press the bell icon for future notifications.